So before this video starts off, I'm going to put a quick disclaimer and tell you if you do not enjoy these type of videos that are related, then please do not watch this video and click off this video. Some of you, I'm going to know this already, are going to probably say this is cap. No, matter of fact, everything that I say on these videos are 100% real. And this is actually something I had witnessed that literally happened a couple of meters away from me during school while I had a personal recess time, because I used to have those times where I was allowed to go outside when it was too much for me or had done my homework and stuff. So enjoy the video. Okay, so this is a very crazy story. This actually, matter of fact, happened quite a while ago though. This was on the exact same school that I graduated from last year, so a couple of months back ago. This is a very crazy story. So this was in the second year. So we've got first, second, third and fourth year on the school I was. So in the Netherlands, you've got eerste, tweede, derde and vierde jaar. You've got a couple of years on one school, and then you get your diploma and you graduate, right? And then you can choose your own direction. So I was one of the only kids in my class that was allowed to go outside during recess time. So we had recess from, I think, if I can remember, during that period, we had between, I think it was 10:45 till 11. And then from 12:30 to 1. Eventually they changed the times, but this was when this all happened. So I often used to go outside, and I still can remember this was on a very beautiful sunny day. I think this was around spring break, so kind of like April, May, June. It was very nice weather though. It was consistent good weather. I used to often go outside just to listen on, put some music, headphones on, and I just do my thing for 10-15 minutes, and then I go back to class and I continue with what I was doing. There was this one time, actually, this is a crazy thing. So I didn't know this guy personally, but the school, where it was located, just going to be very honest, wasn't the best location for a school to be placed in, considering the circumstances some kids were living in at home, the neighborhoods they came from. The kids, don't get me wrong, one-on-one, they were quite chill, but you all know how it is when there's a group of individuals. You've always got someone trying to be the goddamn alpha male. They always act tough in that, but one-on-one, in general, they were quite chill and, pretty honest and open about it. So, once in a while, I could talk to some of these guys that I'd never talked to in a group, because I was always the quiet one, always observing my area and just listening, because, it was very quiet. I was smart. I didn't have the loudest bark, because, oh no, these bad boys will hit you. I'm just kidding. Okay, stop embarrassing yourself. My God, you're such an embarrassment. I know! 100 likes in a new podcast tomorrow. Anyways, sorry. I get so emotionally crying when I see my beauty face. Anyways, I'm just kidding. So there was this kid. I don't actually remember the kid's name. Well, he wasn't really a kid. He was 16 or 17. I think he was 17, but he had run into the law a couple of times, and he had an adventure point. I've got no clue what he committed, what kind of crime or law he broke, but he had an ankle monitor, which is basically an ankle bond here in the Netherlands, which means that you get tracked by the cops everywhere you go. And I'm assuming as well, when you've got an ankle monitor on, you're not allowed to go outside some certain specific time zones, and you're not allowed to go out of the neighborhood. I think, if that's how it works, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but I think that's how it works. Depends on what you break, obviously, law-wise. But he wasn't ashamed of it. I mean, obviously, if you've got an ankle monitor, you hide it as much as you can, because it's a negative image towards society, because then society does see you like a criminal. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it works, because you don't just get an ankle monitor, you do stuff for that, obviously. But anyways, I was chilling one day. I was because the school was very strange. It was kind of like it's kind of like built like a bungalow, right? So it doesn't have storages. It's kind of like a flat bungalow. A couple of classes, I think 7 or 8 classes, right? First, second on the left side, and the third, fourth on the right side. The youngest to orders there. So I go outside and I just grab my phone, listen to my headphones, etc. And I go look on the left. There's literally a bridge. We have fences all around the school. Not quite fenced, but like gates. Well, it was fenced, but then a gate in the front and on the back. The main gate used to always be closed for some unknown reason. I don't get why. But those were also the times that we didn't have cameras, because now the school is surveillance with cameras, because actually people have broken in the school a couple of times. Yes, it's just very crazy, but we used to have an actual trampoline there, which was very cool, but kids used to break in and used to go on a trampoline and vandalize it, which meant that we didn't have a trampoline, because we had, gathered money for that and paid it from our own money to have a trampoline. But that got destroyed eventually, which was really pissed us off, because it was like a couple hundred bucks for a trampoline that got ruined by people that we didn't know. So I was on the bench, right? Just listening to my music, great. I think I was listening to the Weeknd's music, and I go see my left, the bridge. There's like this massive tree, sort of blocking it, but you could just see the bridge, right? I see these two individuals. One of the individuals I could recognize because he had the ankle monitor, but I also recognized his posture and just his face and everything. I knew who it was. The second guy, I just had no clue who the guy was. It was a random ass white guy on a BMX bike, and they were on the bridge. I kind of had a suspicion already. This is just very odd. He's during school times, after recess, on a bridge with some stranger guy. And then I just, bam, see him grab something out of his pocket. I swear to God, man, this is not cap. He just grabbed something out of his pocket and just handed it to him. Like when someone gives you like a high five, you like grab something, you sneaky, put it in your pocket. They were talking for a couple, like 2-3 minutes, and then he just grabbed something out of his pocket and just gives it. I've got no clue if money was exchanged. I've really got no clue because I wasn't looking the whole time, because I don't want to pay. I don't want to bring attention to the guy. And I know what they were doing. They were dealing. I know this for a fact. They were dealing. I know it because he was a user as well. I knew that because he liked to smoke often during recess. You'd be amazed the amount of people that used to smoke on my school. It's actually really crazy. It's scary, man. Used to have someone in my class who was beginning on the age of 13. He used to do other kind of things. So for you to not be a user yourself in the school was quite interesting because I just want to say maybe 85-90% of people at that school at the time used to be a smoker, which is crazy. And I wasn't a smoker, no, highly against it, but I think majority of people during high schools only smoke so that they can be a part of a group or feel accepted, which is it's weak as heck, man. Jeez, if you're gonna do that, you're just weak. Might as well just not do anything because they're not your real friends. If that's the case, But they were dealing. I could just tell from a minute they were being so hysterical about it. Just kept on looking this and that, just to make sure there's no cops, because the cops used to come around quite often in the neighborhood because of break-ins, etc., other kind of stuff, which I can't discuss on camera. But the neighborhood itself is very odd. I could never understand why a school like that made for special kids in needs that would have autism, that have got problems at home, why you would place a place like that in a neighborhood that's got problems already. When you put a good thinking, positive idea and you put it onto a place which has a negative surrounding, a negative vibe and people around it, it's not going to become better. I just could never understand why a school like that was in a neighborhood like that. It was known for deals, known for other things that I just unfortunately can't tell on camera because it'll get demonetized, and it's kind of sensitive subject as well. I seen some strange and scary stuff on my school, man, when I was there throughout the years. I swear to God, man, I seen some strange stuff. I even saw one time. This was I think this is 2+ years ago. I can remember. This was 2018. I think before I had a relationship with the girl. This was, I think, not October, but this was, I think, just before October hit. We were going to I think it was a Thursday, and we were going to gym because we don't have a gym in our school because it's kind of like small. So we had to go we had 2 gyms, left side and one like a little bit in the city, right? Which is a massive goddamn gym. Whoa. So basically, we walk, right? As I pass the gate, I see this woman running, screaming and stuff, right? Now we have 3 teachers behind us, 2 male, 1 female, and this guy out of nowhere comes running. Guy's got tattoos, it's a white guy, obviously. Well, I'm saying obviously, but the neighborhood, like I said, where we were in was quite a very strange neighborhood. I never felt comfortable walking from the metro to school in the morning. I always was very aware of my surroundings. I always looked left and right, always made sure I got my pockets locked and everything, because I just didn't feel comfortable because of the fact the amount of police there patrolling is ridiculous because of the incidents that happen, and still to this day happening as I'm speaking. The people there made me feel very uncomfortable, because you've got to realize, man, I'm just keeping it very honest with you guys. I live in a nice, wealthy neighborhood. Sort of, I guess you can say suburban, really. I don't know. So for me, going to a place every day, it's kind of out of my comfort zone because I didn't feel comfortable being there. Not because of the fact that I, have this and that. it's because I didn't grow up with these kind of circumstances. I didn't grow up with having to deal with people out of nowhere harassing me, these kind of things, police every time on me. Because I've had this as well a couple of times, police stopping me, asking what I have in my backpack. That stuff is annoying, man. Like when you get stopped for your opinion, no reason, but they have seen the amount of kids walking with machetes and knives. I swear to God, this is not a joke, man. People used to walk around in my school with knives on them, and I ain't talking about a pocket knife, but like butterfly knives, and like it's crazy, man. The incidents that happened in school, no one ever got hurt like with a knife, but once about a fight broke out, and I just thought it was crazy, man. I couldn't laugh about it. I thought it was sad, man. But anyways, I always focused on myself during those school times, right? Eventually, I got my diploma. Well, like I said, there's one time, right? This female out of nowhere comes running, screaming, and this guy follows her, and yeah, out of nowhere, just he pushes her on the ground, on the grass, and then he just lays her down, like pins her down on the grass, and then my two teachers go running. They grab him. I don't know if he got choked hold, but they grabbed him pretty good. He apparently, she actually, if I can remember correctly, the story was very vague. She was pregnant, apparently. He wanted to go to Spain, take the kid with while she was pregnant. God knows why, against her will. She threw acid, apparently, in his face. Apparently, she had a plastic bottle that's supposedly normally filled with water, right? She had apparently acid or something soury in it. I think it was acid. Threw it in his face, which meant his eyes burned. The cops were caught eventually, and I saw him when we were walking in his BMW, I think it was a coupe, skirt around and just drove away like fast, which was a very crazy incident. One of the craziest incidents maybe that I've ever actually witnessed during my school times, man, at that school. Like I said, I just witnessed the craziest things. Once time that with my friend back in the time, which I don't have contact with. Most of the people that I used to call friends, I don't have contact with any of them actually, because unfortunately just they were focusing on other different kind of things, and I was only focusing on my YouTube and on my school. But they just all had different kind of ideas. Unfortunately, look, don't get me wrong, the kids I used to be around with, they were very nice kids, 101. But the problem was, almost all of them grew up in a negative environment, which often led to them unfortunately doing these kind of things, where I was like, I can't associate myself with this. I don't have to do these kind of things. I've got family that do help me. I've got food. I've got this and that. There's no point for me doing what these guys do. I just couldn't see myself doing it because there wasn't a reason for me to go do these things like they were. Maybe they had the reasons, but some of these guys I knew where they lived. Yeah, but the areas they lived in, the surroundings, it's negativity, and unfortunately, getting brought up in a surrounding like that, you don't know better. Quite often, you don't know better. So I couldn't blame him, but I was like, I don't want to be associated with this, because I'm a good kid. And I know these kids are good. I knew them personally, very good, man. But the things that they would tell me once, well, I was like, God, how can you be proud of this, man? How can you be proud of the fact that you just steal something from someone's baggage? I can't do that. So I sort of pushed myself away from the group. And I just think it's the best decision I'd ever made. Because they were nice, like I said, 101. But in a group, they were so mean and disgusting, actually, to be quite fair. They were a whole different kind of person and vibe. Always used to search up fights for no reason with people. Always used to try to steal. I just couldn't be associated with it. And yes, I'm going to be very honest. I've never actually stolen something personally from anyone or anything from stores. But I did cooperate with stealing once. I did. And I'm just going to keep it very honest. We were at a shop once. I was with one of my friends, as nephew or cousin. I think one of the two it's called. And there was this whole bike filled with like food and those kind of things, right? Like cookies. I don't know why, first place, you keep your food in a bag on the back of your bicycle. It's kind of stupid open. I used to just look and surround. I was just looking for for cups and that. He just grabs all the food and we run away. And yeah, I had a whole cookie of coconut, maybe. Afterwards, I felt guilty because I just had cooperated with stealing something that didn't belong to us. Regardless if, but they should have closed the bag. It doesn't matter. I do agree with you, though. You should always close your stuff. But it's not alright to steal someone's personal belongings, regardless if it's left on there or not, on purpose or not. Because it just it's not for us. We didn't buy it. But I never personally stole anything from shops because I always pay for stuff. I knew people that I used to hang around with that used to steal from the shops. I got no clue how they used to do it, man. I don't get how they never got caught. Just crazy. But what I do know is the shops that we used to go to where they used to steal. They used to steal like $20 cents of cans. I'm like, God damn, you really that irritated? Are you really gonna do this? You're gonna steal a $20 cent Coca-Cola, a non-branded Coca-Cola? Come on, man, just pay the 20 cents. What's the problem? You say, man, leave me alone. I said, okay, for sure. If you get caught, don't mention my name because I ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't know you guys. I used to say these kind of things like, I don't know these kids. I don't know who these people are. If they steal, I don't know who they are. Speak them once in a while, but I don't know them. I'm not associated with them. You know, but the school I was on, don't get me wrong, it was very cool. You know, the school I was on, like the teachers I could always vibe with. Almost all teachers I had a good bond with, but I just could never understand to this day why a school was put in an environment like that. You know, you're trying to help people that have difficulties, that have autism, that have problems at homes, and yet you're going to put a school like that in a surrounding like that. I just couldn't understand it. It must have done with location wise, you know. But do I miss the school? I'm just gonna keep it very honest. I don't actually miss it at all. No, I'm very glad that I actually got off the school and I just got my diploma last year, because I just don't want to ever go back to school, and I don't have to. I don't have anything to search there besides maybe once just visit my teacher and see how she's doing, because you know she's a great teacher. But all these stories, man, I would love to tell you guys more stories, but these stories are kind of crazy, man. Like I said, the bridge thing that happened, the woman that got attacked, that happened. Some other stuff that happened as well. Like I said, the one time with my friend back then, we were footballing, and because we had like how do you guys call this? We call it a plankje in the Netherlands. So a plankje, which is basically kind of like a pavement, or other grass, but we chose pavement. We had like a football cage. We made ourselves, you know, with the fundings of school. We used to get once in a while from the council estate, right, from the government. We were footballing, and I know some guy, I think a 17, 18-year-old, walked past with his dog, right? I think a Chihuahua it was. And my friend says, people think that they're so, you know, so wide and strong, and he noticed it. He saw it. What did you say? He said, no, nothing. You. He got pissed off. I don't get why he got mad, but I was like, why are you doing this, my man? You're seriously trying to search a fight for no reason. Just play football, man. I got pissed at my friend because I was like, why are you doing this? You're trying to search a fight for no goddamn reason. The guy's just walking his dog. Alright, yeah, he was walking a bit weird, but you don't say these kind of things in areas like that, man. People get hurt for those kind of things. And I was quite afraid, man. The guy was actually coming towards us. I was like, nah, I'm coming in. Then, I remember, I don't know his name anymore, but he said, get off. He said, go away. I was like, damn. That was crazy, man. The things I experienced is just crazy. It really is. It's scary, man. Like, I'm not joking or lying in these kind of videos, man. Even though this video is 18 plus minutes long, I just like making these videos. My experience on school, I don't know what my experience would be like if I was in South Africa. I think it would be completely different. Like, South Africans are really, really strong, harsh people. Like, mentally and physically, in general, you know? But yeah, I am just going to have to end this podcast video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You don't have to believe me. Obviously, you can just also say, nah, I don't believe it, Keegan. That is cool. But I'm going to just keep it very real. These kind of things happened. A lot of things happened. Let me know that down in the comments below if you would like to see more of these stories and explain them further on. But for now, I'm going to end this video. Later on the ASMR channel, I will have an ASMR roleplay coming up. So stay tuned for that video, and new video on Keegan's podcast tomorrow. If this video gets minimum 100 likes, got a Kentucky Fried Chicken mukbang with my cousin coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching. Hey, peace out, man.